St. Patty's Day. We are here with another episode of the Long Halloween podcast. This is the St. Patty's Day episode, and I have two of the other three with me. I guess, yet again, Dave is out planning some nefarious shit.
Dave got COVID-19, guys. Let's not sugarcoat it.
Yeah,
He got lucky. He got lucky.
So here's the deal. This is the Long Halloween podcast, like I said. Normally, like all the other podcasts we do, we would be at the podcast studio, but thanks to COVID-19, they shut the studio down for a week, and here it is the day before St. Patty's Day, so we had to figure out something. You know, we're in a time where, you know, that everyone's like, hey, look, social distancing, you know, isolate, only come out when you have to. So we came to a bar.
and we huddled around a single microphone.
We are literally doing the opposite of social distancing. We are rolling the dice today.
Opposite of social distancing. Three guys in a very confined space. One just came back from the coronavirus capital of the United States.
There you go.
Seattle. We're here at the Workman's Friend, which is an Irish spot, which we figured it's appropriate for our St. Patty's. This is your idea, Brian.
Yeah, Irish pub. I mean, like, to be fair, I've asked to record every single one of these in a bar.
And here you have it live right
There
now
we go,
from the
yeah.
bar. So let's get into this bit of business, man. The St. Patty's Day issue of Long Halloween. Here is the summary. The issue opens with the release of a hulking prisoner from Gotham Penitentiary in the middle of a thunderstorm. The released prisoner climbs into a waiting car and is driven to Carmine Falcone. The former prisoner is revealed to be his daughter, Sophia. Bruce Wayne is addressing the board of Gotham City Bank. He announces that he has reversed his previous decision and now wishes to allow Carmine Falcone to invest his money through the bank. Captions reveal that he is aware that he's being controlled by Poison Ivy, but is essentially a helpless witness to his own actions. As he leaves the bank, he walks by Selina Kyle, who attempts to get his attention. He ignores her and enters a car that's waiting for him. Selina notices an ivy-covered arm in the backseat. Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon are discussing how to proceed in their attempt to bring down organized crime in Gotham after Maroni's restaurant was hit on Valentine's Day. Maroni and Falcone branches have been at war. Dent wants to focus attention on Bruce Wayne, while Gordon insists that Maroni is the weak link. Dent suggests trying to bring down both at once. Unbeknownst to both men, Dent's corrupt assistant, Vernon, is eavesdropping on the other side.
Vernon.
Eavesdropping on the other side of the door. Sophia enters the garage of Carmine Falcone's sister, Carla Vitti. Carla is having target practice with the gun found at the scene of Alberto Falcone's murder on the yacht. Sophia informs Carla that there's a plan to hit Maroni on St. Patrick's Day because they believe that he is either Holiday or knows the identity of Holiday. Carla says that she will now, hold on a second, I fucked this whole thing up. Carla says that she's with him now because due to the banking situation is taken care of and the money is flowing like it should. At Wayne Manor, Poison Ivy is sitting down to dinner with her puppet Bruce Wayne. Catwoman leaps into the room and attacks Ivy. The controlled Wayne interferes, battling Catwoman. In the scuffle, Wayne's shirt is ripped open, revealing his chest is covered with ivy vines. Catwoman slashes the vines off Bruce's chest. Wayne is freed from Ivy's spell but loses consciousness at the same time. Catwoman looks up to see Ivy has escaped in the pandemonium. Around 5 in the morning on St. Patty's Day, Holiday strikes again. This time, another mass killing with a leprechaun statue left behind. Sophia Falcone pulls up to deliver the hit on Maroni, and it is discovered that the site of the Holiday's most recent murders, Maroni's safe house. Batman responds to the bat signal to find Catwoman waiting for him. He thanks her for helping his friend Bruce Wayne. She asks her why she helps. She informs him that he will see in time and flees into the night. Batman reflects on just how much he owes her from releasing him from Ivy's spell. And then you get that stinger at the end with Poison Ivy and Carmine Falcone paying her off.
Where he paid her approximately $300, which I think is, wow. I mean,
does she even need money like that? I mean,
he paid her $300 to sleep with Bruce Wayne? How does this work?
It's a win-win for her, man.
Yeah,
she comes up. Bruce Wayne's like kind of a win-win for me.
It's a win-win for him. I mean, like, coated in vines is a pretty small price to pay.
You would think so. What? I never quite understood what her powers are. Is it just like powers of being very open to suggestion, or did he just fall under her love spells?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a love spell talking to plants kind of thing. I don't see how those two are connected necessarily.
She did the same because she did the same thing with Superman and Hush.
And Hush, yeah, oh yeah. Jeff Loeb's only understanding is that she controls men. Which
she does the same thing in
well, she does it in
Tom
Batman and
King's
Robin.
Batman.
And she does the same thing in that run. I mean.
All right,
and she does the same thing in the animated series too,
Yeah.
but it requires a kiss from a specially perfected kind of venom that she has put all over her lips. It's so sexual.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people look to Catwoman as being like the sexual Batman villain, but Poison Ivy's got her long outranked.
Oh yeah, way out there.
Way
for
out
sure,
there.
for
Yeah,
sure.
Not sure
She's
how
got
Uma
this-
Thurman got that role.
She's got this whole Harley Quinn thing too. Like, I mean, just
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think about this issue, the Jamon?
It was actually a good issue. Like last few seemed like it. It was kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say dragging, but there wasn't really a whole lot of plot development. But this stuff was actually happening in this one finally.
Yeah, it seems like Valentine's Day was kind of stagnant.
Yeah.
as Valentine's Day tends to be.
The
New Year's, like,
New Year's.
Shitty New Year's, shitty Christmas. Christmas was good. New Year's was good. Valentine's
New Year's
Day, that
New
was the
Year's-
plane fight with the
Joker, right?
Yeah,
It's a great issue.
Well, which one is Alberto Falcone clapped up on the
That's
yacht?
New Year's.
That's New
That's
Year's.
New
Okay,
Year's.
so that was the last time something great happened. So yeah, Valentine's Day was kind of and now it seems like the wheels are starting to spin again.
Right.
Yeah. Brian, what's your thoughts
Well,
on
I tell you, like my favorite character in this whole thing.
this? Is Vernon.
No, it is. It's what's her name?
Selena Kyle.
No, it's
Sophia.
Sophia?
Yeah, Sophia Falcone. Just this butch, husky enforcer woman.
I was
She's
like,
the muscle.
she's about to do some business. Right now.
She's gonna come and rip somebody in half at some point. It's like
My first
it's
note
like
is
she's like the kind of person who grabs you by the sides of your head and thrusts her thumbs into your eye sockets. That's her primary form of communication.
hello. My first note is Sophia was out for less than a day and she's ready to get back to killing folks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is what she's good at.
So this is our first time seeing her, right? Like she's been in jail this whole time.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a new player has been added to the element.
Yeah, I
here.
think it's gonna. Yeah, business is gonna pick up a bit.
And he's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
and Carmine's just like, you take care of this, and she's like cracking her knuckles
Yeah,
over there in the
I
corner.
heard about this guy in jail. I'm
This
ready
is the
for him.
Gina Carano character of the Long Halloween.
Pretty much.
Okay, all right. I see what you're doing there. I like it.
I can see that. Kind of like.
All right, so Jamon, after this, are there any clues that have pointed you in any kind of way?
Not a
to
one. Not a one. It
They've
seems
done
like
a
it's
pretty
just
good
like,
job just keeping most of the field open, haven't
Yeah.
they? All right. Is there anything conversely? I thought of this on the way over here. Is there anything conversely that you're like, all right, these people I think we can take off the list? Like besides like Gordon,
Yeah, Gordon
Dan,
obviously.
Batman.
I still haven't taken Dent off the list. To be honest.
I wouldn't take Den off the list.
No.
Okay. All right then. So is there anybody else you think we can safely remove, or is
There's
everybody?
this there's this great line in here, speaking of Dent, though, where he and Gordon are talking, and Dent says something to the effect of, like, they're doing our jobs for us.
Yeah.
And Gordon's like,
That's not our
this
job."
isn't our job,
Yeah,
Dent.
our job is to kill these guys. It's
You're an
just-
elected official, right?
We apprehend them and let the justice system do their work. Yeah, we don't have them killed. Also, Dent's not wrong.
Yeah.
Also, really quick about this, though, because Gordon mentions in the same scene that he came up from Chicago and moved to Gotham City. It's like, I really would love to see a like a prelude to this that involves him and Carla, the Carmine's sister, who runs the Chicago gangs, right?
Oh yeah. Viti.
Yeah. Carla Vitti.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a nice little.
You know,
like
that'd be kind of cool.
Brubaker
I don't know if anybody's
written,
really
crime joint.
I don't know if anybody's chomping at the bit for that, but I mean, hey, it's out there.
Suddenly, I am.
I'm
First one's
already
Free
down,
Tom King.
I'm already down for a Sophia series.
Sophia
Just
Clough and
muscle it-
Folk
just
issue
muscle
one.
it through just folks. It's like Debo, basically, just running through.
She literally just takes guys and holds them upside down and shakes the change out of their pockets.
It's like Falcone hired Suge Knight to just like,
This is the Suge Knight of,
Yes,
the Suge Knight of Gotham.
DC.
it's like handle this. It's like,
Do you foresee, Jamon, any more Poison Ivy in the future?
I think that felt like it was a one and done. Like
Yeah.
she went, did her job, got her money, went about her business.
Okay, fair enough. So the mobs are at war, right? After the whole Valentine's Day massacre it was Maroni's men that got hit, right? On Valentine's Day, I think it was?
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the guys at Maroney's safe house. Oh, wait, no, you're talking about...
at
Valentine's.
the restaurant. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
was
I
that
think it was
Maroni or
Maroni's.
Falcone's people? Were,
was it Falcone's people outside of Maroni's spot? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Let's see.
Because that's when somebody goes, "It's war!"
Yeah.
We're looking that information up for you.
Yeah, I think,
right?
I think it was Falcone's guys.
Yeah, outside of Maroni's.
so obviously, yeah,
like-
somebody's playing one
Somebody's
side against
playing
the
both
other.
sides, yeah. Falcone thinks it's the Maroni gang doing all the hits. Maroni thinks it's Falcone. But they're getting clapped up in about equal numbers, aren't they?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
So you think they'd be like, wait a minute, if it's not me and it's not you, maybe we shouldn't be beefing all goddamn day.
You guys read, did you read Identity Crisis?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
The Brad Meltzer series. So
Not a fan.
So there's the penultimate issue of that series is Batman combing over all the clues, and the critical question is who
gains?
Who benefits? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who benefits from all of this happening, and that's how he arrives at the conclusion of who is responsible for Identity Crisis.
Which I've already forgot.
And
It was
Adam's wife?
Yeah.
yeah, it was
So
Spoilers,
they made
I
it.
guess.
Yeah.
They had a little red herring in that issue where they made it seem like it was the Adam himself that did it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's something to keep in mind as you go through this.
Who benefits?
Think about who's benefiting from this.
But then you look at the clues that's been laid out there now, and nobody's benefiting. Like,
Right.
Maroni's stressed, Falcone's stressed, Batman's stressed, Gordon's stressed, Dent's just crazy as shit. Both their wives haven't seen their husbands. No one's gaining out of any of this.
It's a pretty shitty year in Gotham.
Like, Joker's probably having a
This is
ball
just- yeah, this is-
flying biplanes.
Right, yeah,
It's just like a Tuesday in Gotham, basically. It is
Tuesday
like,
Gotham, yeah. Still, in all this, I will take a mob war over any supervillain craziness any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take this over the war of jokes and riddles, all day long. So, like we said, this issue moved the plot forward a little bit, more than the last issue did. So we've got Sophia
Yeah.
in the mix now. What do you think about that Gordon and Dent scene?
that
Is
was,
that why Harvey's still on the table for you? a
yeah,
little
because
bit?
that was very interesting when he said that or whatever. They're doing our job for us and all this stuff. It was like, obviously, you can, like, even if he isn't the holiday killer, you're like, something's kind of off with him. Like,
Well, he also really keeps harping on Wayne, right?
Right.
And
He
we,
keeps
the reader,
focusing
know that
hardcore.
the last person in here, well, the second to last person in here in this whole story who is responsible for these killings, I would say that Gordon's probably definitely not the guy.
Yeah.
Batman's probably number 2. So we, the reader, know this.
Yeah.
So why is he harping on Wayne so much?
I was reading this afternoon to get prepared for this, and I just kept going back to that question. Like, why? I can't remember who got Vernon got them on the Bruce Wayne sniff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he just will not stop. He just won't let like dog.
And it is now 2.5 months since Vernon said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
they've
there's still
got nothing on Bruce Wayne in this 2.5 months.
2.5 months.
If you're Gordon, are you starting to suspect Dent at this point might not all be there?
I think so. Like, even, was he around when they burned that money?
He's right beside
Him
him,
and
right?
Gordon?
Because if it was
He was
if we were
him
two
and
other
Batman.
men.
Gordon wasn't there.
It was
Dent and Batman who were there burning.
Because
the
that's when you start seeing those signs that may not, like,
Yeah, if we were two other guys.
yeah, it's like, don't even think about that. Don't even.
I'm just saying, don't.
Don't. Yeah. Okay, right on. So still no clues, nothing.
I'm like, it still seems like it's halfway pointing towards Dent, but I'm just like,
Now,
Dent seems too obvious.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
she can't commit to Dent.
yeah,
It
he can't
seems
commit
like
to that because he seems too obvious.
Right.
Now, at this point, you having known what goes on, they haven't. Not a whole lot of actual breadcrumbs have been laid out there too much. Would you say?
there
You're
is
pretty
only
in the dark until the reveal, aren't you?
there is only one breadcrumb that's out there that I feel is in any way telling because it is very tropish.
Okay.
But that's the only thing, and even that is a very very minuscule breadcrumb considering how this whole thing ends up.
Yeah, so this is what, the 6th or 7th of these we've done? So we're about halfway.
Yeah.
At this point. We're halfway with absolutely
No,
nobody.
Yeah.
So if you're going through a murder mystery and you're halfway through it with no possible suspects besides the one obvious one, are you starting to get frustrated, or are you like,
I'm kind of like anxious. Like I just was like, okay, because part of me wanted to read a few more issues just to kind of see if it's picking up some more steam.
No, it's a quick read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're about to start picking up steam from here.
Yeah, I think this is the turn, really. I think this issue is.
I'm just like, this ain't no Ryan Johnson.
The next
This ain't no Ryan Johnson.
The next issue is like the sort of break issue where like let's just look at the facts. And it's a really, really interestingly staged issue, and I think it kind of just
It kind of like
goes
resettles
back
you.
over everything. It goes back, let's see what the facts are at this point.
So it's like, hey, reader, is everybody on the same page? Let's go.
Issue 7 is right at the halfway point, and it's a little too clever for its own good. I'll be honest.
Oh, this is too clever for my toilet reading.
It's good. It's good though.
All right. The one thing that I do like about this issue is that it puts Bruce Wayne in what I like to call the Spider-Man dilemma, because now he has to go back to his board again and be like, hey, everything I just said the other day, scratch all that. Because now it just makes him like a complete fucking asshole.
It kind of felt like that that scene in Dark Knight Rises or whatever, where they got Bruce Wayne's prince or whatever to do that business in Wall Street and have him make those bad investments and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of like, isn't it also Dark? It's the Dark Knight, where he flies all the way out there to to China or whatever.
Hong Kong, whatever.
Yeah, never mind. I looked at their books. I don't want to do this business anymore.
Oh, I love another one.
You asking another heart, please? Yeah, thank you.
So let's see. You keep those parts in the podcast because it adds a sense of realism.
Yes. Oh, is that what you do? All right. Well, don't worry. I cut all this out already. Yeah.
Another pint of bitter.
You guys got anything else to say about this ridiculousness?
Yeah,
we didn't talk about any of the artwork.
Well, we talked. I liked the callback to the bank manager who was killed in issue 1. Richard, whatever his name was, Richard Daniel, who Bruce really was staunchly opposed to in issue 1, and really spent most of the first, 7 or 8 pages of that talking about how his business is not going to be the same as Carmine's business.
Right.
So it was a nice little callback there, but the bigger callback I really like, or it's not really a callback, it's just a little detail, is that when Bruce is sitting down to dinner with Ivy, he refers to Wayne Manor as his father's house, which I think is really cool, because this series, for the one hand, I think Batman's house is the Batcave.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne is just a squatter in Wayne Manor.
Right.
But the cooler thing is that, the first issue of this series really sets up this idea, I'm not my father.
Right.
This is not... This business you conducted previously ends here. This is not what I am.
This ain't what Wayne shit's about.
And so this manor, this vast manor, which was, probably funded through some semi-unscrupulous means.
Probably.
Bruce is like, this is my father's house. And that's an underlying theme in this whole thing, is kind of this idea of legacy and how one generation may not want to inherit what the previous generation did.
That's a good point.
And so I think that line, and I think Jeff Loeb on his on some of his best days is a little bit hackish. But this one line just nails it so well, and I'm like, it's just like 2 incomplete sentences. Great job.
Every great rapper, my theory, has a shitty verse. Every shitty rapper has one good verse in him somewhere, and that was Jeff Loeb's one good verse.
Jeff Loeb just is on fire when he's working with Tim Sale, and I don't know what it is about that combo.
It might be the best partnership.
It's definitely
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
I think they both amplify each other. I think Tim Sale's good on his own.
Yeah, it's true.
So
when you
maybe
got
it's
some crime
mostly-
shit with Batman,
but
he steps it up.
They're just simpatico. They're great together.
Oh, they also did the Marvel Colors joints together too.
They
didn't
did,
Yeah.
and those are mostly good too.
Yeah, I think the only one I haven't read is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's the best one.
Really?
I think Spider-Man's the
I
best
really
one.
like the Captain America joint.
Captain America was good. I think I was just like frustrated because it took so long to come
Yeah.
out. Like I waited and waited for that.
I just want the
think my
Norman
two
Osborn
favorites-
purple one to come out.
My two favorites were Daredevil and Spider-Man. I think.
Okay.
Those are my two favorites. But I also love when Tim Sale draws just like beautiful '60s women.
Yeah.
And that book was just lousy with them. So
And speaking about Sale, man, what's some of the good artwork that's up in this bit of business?
Oh man, that splash page.
the splash page, the
Yeah.
2-page spread.
Yes.
Come on, forget about it.
Are you serious? Like,
Oh, that is a good one, yeah.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Any other good shit in there? I did
I
not.
like the way-
For you readers, I left my book at home.
How many?
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
like the number of leaves Tim Sale has gone out of his
that's
way
what I was
to
gonna say. I
illustrate
like
here.
the way he drew Ivy, where
He did not have to draw her like
Yeah.
this, where there's just this encroaching hedge all the time.
and the leaf.
Yeah.
It seems like it's more
She looks
leaves
like that-
than her. And
she looks
and
like
anytime,
that,
anytime you see her in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
panel.
she looks like that Homer Simpson meme all the time, where she's
Dips
just
out into the
dipping
hedge.
into the hedge.
It kind of reminds me of Spawn, where his cape,
The cape
like
just
felt like his
flows.
own.
Oh,
Yeah, it feels like
it's
it's living
its own
and yeah,
living
its own-
thing. Yeah, that's so great.
That's
so great.
attention to detail.
And I really did. I mean, in all fairness, I've talked a lot about Poison Ivy. I'm hot for Poison Ivy. It's fine. But, like, the thing is here, when Selena tears open Bruce's shirt,
You see vines.
I'm like,
everywhere.
that's not cool, because there's probably bugs in it. Maybe a
chewing,
nest.
chewing on the nips.
Yeah.
There's one scene I think where Sophia shows up to Carmine. I think that's what it is, and you just see him in shadow, and all you see is his eyes and his Catwoman scar.
Oh, that was
That's
the last page, wasn't it? When Ivy shows up.
Is that what it is?
I think.
I thought it was earlier in the issue.
Oh, maybe it is early in the issue. Yeah.
As they
Yeah,
frantically
that's
flip
it. When he opens the door, it's just the Catwoman scar in red.
Yeah, just the eyes and the Catwoman
And his
scar.
hair.
Oh, and his
See his hair, perfectly kept hair.
Yes, he's perfectly coiffed man. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the series is definitely back on track with this issue. Overall, well, what you got something?
I just love how like they don't even make any attempt to depict Vernon as anything other than a complete fucking weasel.
It's like
stooped
He's
outside
just
the door.
out the door with his ear to the keyhole, like boo.
What you guys talking about here, huh, boss?
it's like the way they always used to animate those Disney characters. Like you can like tell which ones were comic relief and the
Yeah. Who would play Vernon if they made a Long Halloween? If Matt Reeves' Batman was Long Halloween,
Vernon. Like I'm thinking somebody Weasley kind of.
yeah, there's no
Steve
young.
Buscemi maybe.
That was my first thought, but he's too old.
too
There's
old
no
now.
good
Yeah.
young weasels in Hollywood.
Yeah, we need a good
Josh
young
Hutcherson.
weasel. Oh yeah, I
It's
mean
gonna
he's
be-
not a bad young weasel.
Right on. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my
Maybe
head.
Shia LaBeouf.
I think he could. I think he's grown out of his.
He's got his weasel face.
T.J. Miller actually plays a character named Weasel in Deadpool, and I think he's kind of a
He can be-
shitbag.
yeah.
So
You know, I agree with you on all of those points there. Now I don't know if you've been ranking. I probably haven't these issues in your head, but like, where would this one stack up amongst the others?
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I would probably put it right below the Christmas one. Like
The Christmas one. That's
Yeah.
your favorite issue
Yeah.
so far.
I think issue 1, the Christmas one, and this issue were kind of the 3 highest points in the series
So
to
far,
this point.
for
Yeah.
me,
Thanksgiving wasn't bad either with Solomon.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man,
Solomon
yeah,
Grundy
yeah.
punching him with that.
that's his whole dinner up.
This whole dinner, I'm looking forward to them bugs.
But I mean, the thing about these holidays also is that I think we ourselves are more invested in some holidays than others, right? So we hated the Valentine's Day issue. We really don't fucking like Valentine's Day.
Good point.
But we love us some Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yes.
You made a whole sub-holiday.
I know,
about it.
right? Some holiday. Yeah. So, and I don't like love St. Patrick's Day, but I do love a lot of what St. Patrick's Day has to offer. You know, cheers.
Cheers. Hey,
Yes.
yeah. There we go.
So,
So yeah, let's talk about St. Patty's Day, man. With, you, sir, are drinking a traditional Guinness there.
yes,
I went to the other side of the spectrum and got a hop.
that's good.
Yeah, I haven't had harp in
It's good stuff.
years.
Yeah, normally I'll be wearing my Green Lantern shirt around this time, because that's pretty much the only bit of green
shirt,
I own.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I wore that. I wore that to work. We had our Green Day like last week.
Yeah.
And,
I pulled this bad boy out of the closet earlier. I haven't worn it in a while.
See, I was telling Daryl earlier, my one big St. Patty's Day tradition now is I go to Krispy Kreme and I get the green donuts.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! And then you shit green for like
yes,
a week.
yes.
Surprise after surprise after surprise.
Stuff. I always wear the Green Lantern shirt to see if people will recognize what it is, or just tell me it's a great Sheldon Cooper shirt.
Oh.
And I had like literally my aunt at one point said something about it to that regard, and I'm like,
Sheldon Cooper?
you've known me for far longer than that show's been on television. What about my life tells
Makes
you
you
that
think Big Bang
my
Theory.
personality was dictated at all by this television show?
Fuck, I hate that show.
I am not a fan.
So that's your, you know, any other traditions? That's your main?
That's about it.
I
pretty
saw
much.
the ad come through on Facebook today, and I was like, the one thing that can get me out of this damn isolation is going to give you some green Krispy Kreme donuts. But alas, I did not. I did
pretty
not.
good.
What St. Patty's traditions do you have?
I don't really have any. I mean, like, I'm a big cabbage eater, as
Okay.
one might expect. Corned beef and cabbage. I really actually do love corned beef and cabbage a lot. It's just a nice, hearty
It's
meal.
hearty, man.
Yeah, it's a real. I feel good afterwards. The
Yeah.
people around me, not so
Not
much.
so
but,
much.
no.
Yeah, I can smell
but no,
it
I mean,
bastard.
like, I was trying to think back for this. It's like good, memorable St. Patrick's Days. Like, I
The
will
good
tell you.
ones shouldn't be memorable.
I will tell
No.
you a couple things about St. Patrick's Day. One, in, I want to say probably 04, maybe 05. For whatever reason, I ended up taking the best photograph I've ever taken in my life on St. Patrick's Day.
Really?
And it was
Like,
just
you
like,
were in it, or you took
yeah,
it?
I was in it. No, I mean, it was a picture of me, and I was like, I do not look this good in real life.
I can attest.
And I was like, perfect. That's amazing. So
What
just
were
the
the
right amount
circumstances?
of alcohol, the right angle of my face, the lighting. I don't know.
Deacons came in and helped out whoever
It was definitely in a bar. So I mean, but it was a professional photographer in a bar.
Ah, okay. All right.
So,
do you still have this picture?
you know, it was like my MySpace profile picture for a
Oh,
while.
man.
So it's got to be still out there in the
It's
ether
out there
somewhere.
I'm putting the good detectives on this.
But the other thing is, like, and it's not really a St. Patrick's Day story per se, but I guess about 3 or 4 years ago now, I was in Ireland just prior to St. Patrick's Day. So end of February, early March.
All right, right on.
And that was kind of the most memorable Irish experience I ever had in the month of March.
Being in
'Cause it was
Ireland? Yeah,
quite
nothing's gonna
legit.
beat that.
So it was like we went to St. James Gate and went to the Guinness storehouse, and we drove across the country. I drove across the country on the wrong side of the fucking road in a rental.
What, wrong to us or wrong to them?
Wrong to me.
Oh, okay, all right.
And it was great because we were picking up the rental the morning we were driving across from Dublin to the Cliffs of Moher across the country, and the girl at the checkout at the car rental place is like, "Do you want insurance on it?" And Jacqueline chimes in like, "Well, it's already partially insured because when you rent a car in the U.S., they give you like this sort of like baseline insurance on the vehicle." And she's like, "No, it's not at all. Do you want partial or full?" And I just interjected at that point. I'm like, well, "We're going to be taking full, because I was having a full-blown anxiety attack when I was driving at that point, and with good reason, because within 5 minutes of driving that car, I swear to God, I ended up driving down a sidewalk. Like I was like, "How the fuck did I even get on the sidewalk?" But we drove all the way to Cliffs of Moher, and by the time we got over there, the weather was so lousy that they had shut down the cliffs. They were like, this advisory is like, you do not go to the cliffs today.
How long a drive is this?
Well, this is like maybe a 3.5 hour drive across the country. It's a really quick, it's really easy.
Yeah.
But I was like, we did not drive all the way over here to not do it. I was like real Clark Griswold that day.
Come on, Rusty.
And so we found this place, we parked. The wind was rushing so much, I was walking at almost a 45-degree angle
God,
and
little
still
slant.
getting pushed back.
Yeah.
And while we're walking over to the cliffs, this tour bus came up, and the guy was leading the tour group, and he was like, "Okay, we can only stay here for a couple minutes." And he assimilated us into the tour group because he was afraid for our lives.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And I was up on the cliffs, and it was beautiful. And I'm taking pictures, and I'm standing there taking pictures, and my feet slid on the ground from the wind.
Oh, no.
wow.
No.
And I was like, I believe we're done here.
I've seen all your beautiful country has to show.
So Ireland is a gorgeous place.
Yeah.
Dublin, wonderful, wonderful city. And the weather is quite threatening.
Now, Jermon, Brian and I are known to imbibe of the alcohols.
Yes.
Quite often at
Yeah, that'll
times.
really limit your.
So
enjoyment
how
of
did
St.
like people who like to drink like to look forward to St. Patrick's Day as an excuse to get with buddies, imbibe, and do all kind of stuff. You, however, do not. So like, does St. Patrick's Day mean anything to you whatsoever? Is it just another day?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I see when you don't drink, you have this fascination with watching other people as they're getting drunk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's fun. Sometimes it is fun for maybe 45 minutes to see somebody just get drunk and plastered or whatever. But then
You talking about like the process of seeing them go from somewhat sober to just that slide?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then because I realized like a few years back
They
that
have
I
a
can-
disease, Jermon.
I just realized like a few years back that like I can tolerate like drunkenness for maybe 45 minutes. Like when they get obnoxious drunk and stuff and you're in your face and stuff like that, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
As a
That's it.
drinker, I used to get frustrated because I would work late. This is like in my 20s. I'd be at work until 11 or midnight. And then I'd get out, and my friend would be having a house party or something. I'd go over there, and everyone would be shit-faced at that point. And that is the worst situation
Oh,
to be in.
man.
When you like to drink, but everyone else is always is so much more drunk than you have any intention of being that night. I'm like, well, I'm just peacing out. This is it. I can't do this.
For those of y'all who are listening that went to Korea, in the old days, know that we used to have a curfew it was midnight the first time I was in Korea. And sometimes we had to work shifts that would end at 10 p.m. So that was like 10:30ish. So that was kind of like the power hour and a half. So people would already have their outfits laid out on the bed before they go to work, because that way when you get home, it's just strip out of the uniform, into your good clothes, hail a cab, and get out and just drink yourself silly for 90 minutes to try to catch up with everybody else. And it was always a terrible idea. Which is probably why they done away with the curfew in the first place.
Yeah.
What besides Ireland, is there any other great memorable places you've been for St. Patty's? Or do you just keep it local? Or what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, most St. Patrick's Days I end up not even going out. But when I was living in Sweden, there was an Irish pub right in the middle of town, and I found it within hours of moving there. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, we moved there, the plane landed, we moved into our place at like noon, and by 7 p.m. I was like, this is the place. And we walked there. They had a great storeroom of beers from all over the world. But they were the only place in Uppsala, Sweden, on St. Patrick's Day who had green beer, the green tinted beer. And I was like,
green beer.
this isn't normally a thing for me, a sticking point, but by God,
They committed
we're
something
here,
good.
and I'm gonna find it, and we gotta go, So we went there for St. Patrick's Day and had some green beers, and it felt American, which is weird because you'd probably be looking for a more authentic Irish experience
You would think.
in Sweden.
Yeah, at least in the continent of Europe.
I don't know.
Now,
But, it
also,
was
like
good.
back over to you, Jermon, who you can tolerate the drunks, us disease-ridden folk, for about 45 minutes. Now, I've done 2 New Years with you.
Yes.
Back to back, and for much longer than 45 minutes. How was that environment for you, Thursday Nomad?
Thirsty Nomad is I don't know, it was a lot more chill for me there, and then because nobody was acting, nobody was in there getting belligerent or anything like that, or too wild, or
Young Leslie Ellsworth was well on her way.
she was sauced up a bit.
She was sauced up a bit. So that kind of environment, that chilled out joint,
Yeah.
that's you're cool with that level.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the raucous stuff, I was
too old for that.
I went to Tilted Kilt with some buddies of mine one St.
Hell
Patty's
yeah.
Day. Oh my God. They were doing the car bombs and all that stuff, and It also happened to be karaoke night too, so I was like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
no.
That's a
Recipe for
disaster.
And we were
steak.
sitting, our tables right by the speakers. I was like, oh no.
I'm sorry. Someone's doing Love Shack.
Yeah, it
So
was,
I
it was
touch
highest
myself.
yeah.
Jesus
Terrible,
Christ. Get
terrible.
the hell out of here.
My favorite St. Patty's Day memory was at San Antonio. We're on the Riverwalk, and we're walking past Bulldogs, I think was the name of the place. And as we're walking past, 4 burly-ass dudes, and I've never seen it happen before in real life, just movies, literally tossed the guy on his ass.
Oh, man.
Tossed him on his
wow.
ass. And
That's
we were
great.
like, oh, man. What did that guy do? And one of them looked down at him, looks at us, and goes, and he's the owner. And turned around
Oh, man, that's
and
great.
went back into the bar.
I,
How is sauce gonna be throwing out your own shit?
That's great. It reminds me of something I did see while I was in Ireland, and that was we went out for a very early morning walk around the river that goes through Dublin.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet out there. No one's out. It's early. It's a Sunday morning, and suddenly we hear these 2 guys running up an alleyway. They've got like each one of them has a case of beer under each arm, and they're just booking it. And I was like, they just fucking robbed that truck. Like, that is the most Irish thing I've ever seen. They robbed a beer truck at like 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I kind of like this place.
You know
Like
what?
that
No
movie-
time like the present,
That
my
movie,
man.
The Town, or something.
Yeah.
I got a crazy idea. Tell me where we're going then.
See, I don't know. It's funny because I felt like we made a much bigger deal of the like different holidays, St. Patty's, and all that stuff back when we were in grade school and stuff like that coming
Really?
up. Like,
It's weird to make a big thing out of St. Patrick's Day when you're in like
well,
kindergarten.
they always had all the decorations and different stuff going up.
That's true.
The cafeteria ladies, they always had some kind of food coloring for whatever.
Yeah.
Because they would. That was the thing. They would give you like
They're
that
each
piece-
green.
Yeah.
Squirt onto that
Yeah.
square pizza.
They have a piece of, they have that piece of cake, and depending on what the holiday was, they always change the color of the icing and stuff. Like it was green for St. Patty's,
And it's the
orange
same
for like
cake. That's the
Halloween.
crazy
Yeah,
thing.
exact same cake.
They get one cake at the beginning of the year.
Stuff it back into the fridge.
It's a
for 3
cake
months.
that's the like the width and
Yeah.
depth of the floor of the school.
Refrost it.
Yeah, scrape off this old frosting.
Put the green on.
Yeah, scrape off the orange, put the red on. It's Valentine's
Like
Day.
a vat with green, like frosting just.
Some boat or somebody's. Yeah, everybody was big. Yeah, gotta wear green so you don't get pitched.
yeah.
When, as grown-ass people, was the last time you saw a grown-ass person pinch another grown-ass person for not
Oh,
wearing green?
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I've seen
know.
it in years. Like
I expect more of our
Yes,
public.
it would be. I think nowadays it would be very problematic.
Oh yeah, the Me Too movements.
Yeah.
Shut that shit
You would
down.
get socked in the eye quickly.
Back slapped. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Ooh.
Is there anything else besides booze, wearing green? I think that we covered.
I think it's officially become like the alcoholics holiday.
Oh yeah. It's
yeah,
like
yeah. Well, it
easily.
officially became that about 50 years ago.
Alcoholics Clearinghouse.
Between that
this
and-
is what we're dealing with.
Between that and then the parades,
all
I
win.
guess, which looks like a white pride parade now.
Parades, I've never gotten that. The St. Patrick's Day parades that we have here. Now I get it, like Chicago, great, big Irish
Boston,
population.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boston, for sure. Like, what's with the other cities? Like, why does Charlotte have a... I don't understand this.
It's great for the local economy,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, I guess. You know, it's not COVID-19.
As more and more people show up to the bar.
I really expected there to be more ambient noise here tonight, but there's really not. Other than a random Cure song every once in a while.
Oh, is that what this is?
This isn't.
Oh, okay. All right. I think that about wraps it up, fellas.
I do want to say one thing about the book.
Yeah, what's that?
In the scene where they get murdered, the first, there's this normal black and white 6-panel thing.
That we've
the
come
very
to
first
expect.
panel on there shows a clock, and like, I work with kids. Kids don't know how to read analog clocks. Like, they
Right.
just don't learn this anymore. And when I look at this clock face, I'm like, I don't fucking know how to read an analog clock either. Because what the fuck time is it?
It's 5 something, isn't it? If I remember correctly.
I don't know. Like, look at this spiky crab thing. Like, what is going on?
Oh, wait
here?
a minute. Is that the second hand that's up top?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a minute hand when I first looked at
Who
it.
the hell knows what time it is when these guys were murdered?
coroner's like call out, I have no idea.
It's a big problem. Clock design.
Also, I noticed during that, whoever it is that does that shooting, whoever the holiday killer is literally just blindly shooting from the other side of the door.
He just riddles the door with bullets.
The door with bullets.
Just riddled
Who's
with bullets.
gonna hit?
I counted
I
them
hope
all
there's
up.
somebody in here.
There were like 23 shots fired from that gun.
Well, thankfully, Loeb has the presence of mind to put in the panel of him loading.
He reloads.
Yeah, specifically just to shoot the chandelier.
Just to shoot the chandelier another 20 fucking times.
So I think we can narrow down whoever this is a completely shitty shot. Maybe not a professional.
I like how they
Stormtrooper.
they had to get that little leprechaun ornament. Like a lawn ornament as the
yeah,
thing
yeah, they
to
put
leave
something
behind.
down,
It's like,
'cause-
what do we leave here?
Yeah, what
What do we leave? What does St. Patrick's Day have?
So right after Valentine's Day and the boss of chocolates, he's like, fuck, I gotta figure this out.
How
I
does-
got 30 days.
How does Batman not have a leprechaun themed villain? Is my question.
He's the
got
Riddler way too
everything
far off.
else.
Closest thing is with Mad Hatter, maybe. Like,
I'd say the Riddler.
Yeah, I
he's,
don't
he's
know,
dressed
I
up
don't
in
know.
green
Nobody's-
at the time.
None of them are Irish. They don't have any Irish.
Yeah, there's no Murphy O'Shaughnessy in the Batman Rogues Gallery. Yeah.
dude named Seamus.
What's his last name? None of us know.
Also,
That could be his last name.
Also, I love how Sal Maroni at this point only has one face. Like he makes the same face for everything. Whether Batman found him in an alleyway or he looked out the window and saw a bunch of dead dudes.
He's pissed off.
He's
This
just
is
like,
hilarious. All right, that's gonna do it for our St. Patty's Day episode of the Long Halloween podcast. We'll be back in some form or fashion for the April Fool's joint. Have you looked at the April Fool's cover, Jamar?
I saw that. Yes,
There he
Riddler.
is.
No, they're right there. Yeah.
It's that guy who goes on TV late at night and tells you how to make money from the government.
Oh, Edward Nygma's in the house.
Hey.
Reduced to infomercials. Yeah, so we'll be back with our April Fool's Day episode on April 1st. God willing.
Yeah, I don't know where we're recording that one. From an underground bunker. Virus-free.
Live from a rooftop somewhere. We'll get it figured out. Until then, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.